Hey, everybody.
Welcome.
Hello, welcome. Thanks for being with us. Hey, Alicia.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm wonderful.
You're wonderful. That's what everyone says.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thanks for being with us. Hey, Joey. We see you. Hey. Yeah. So, yeah, man. Things are going pretty good.
Yeah. I got a migraine today.
Oh, yeah. You seem better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You looked a little beat down this morning.
I'll be rough after these
Stuff,
lights.
that stuff hurts. Yeah, they're super bright.
Yeah.
Put your shades on.
Yeah. So I'll just talk to you guys like this.
So did I tell you I had a clergy meeting on like Tuesday, like a bunch of pastors in a restaurant, and I forgot I had my sunglasses on. I sat through the whole breakfast to talking to everybody with.
So they thought like,
I don't
what's
know
wrong
what
with
they
this
thought.
guy? He either thinks he's super cool
Right.
or something's wrong.
Yeah, something's wrong with his eyes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize until I got to my car after. But
You
whatever.
went to put on your
I
sunglasses?
was like, oh wait.
Hilarious.
Yeah. So, hey, do you lose stuff?
All the time.
What do you lose all the time?
My keys, my sunglasses. I don't know. I think that's about it.
Yeah.
What do you lose?
So I went to the doctor this morning, right? And I get up to the front, and I'm like, I don't know where my wallet is.
I thought this was going to be a dad joke. I was like,
No.
oh, Lord.
Oh, that was a good setup. And they were so cool about it, right? But I was like so just embarrassed, and then also like, where's my wallet? And because I was like, I probably just left it,
Right.
Left it on the counter or whatever. And I mean, they were really cool. They're like, okay, just, come back. Like, thank you. Like, I mean, I still did the doctor visit, and then I just was able to run home and take care of it because the visit was actually pretty short. But I ran home, and I went to, grab my wallet off the counter. It's not on the counter.
Where was it?
So I went to the counter. I went to where the keys are. I went to my nightstand. I looked all through the car. I'm like, oh, no. Like, isn't that the worst feeling?
Yes.
Yes. So it was in yesterday's shorts.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So I've done that before. So
Right?
I took the girls to get their, we went and got pedicures and stuff. And I made an appointment. It's the same people we always go to. So I pull up and I'm like, oh, by the way, the nail place is not like right around the corner from my house.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's in Melbourne and I live way out in Palm Bay.
I love that one.
Yeah.
The one in Melbourne.
So I'm pulling the parking lot. I'm like, what am I going to do? So I call John, who's the owner. I'm like, I can either cancel my appointment with the girls or I can have my husband call you and pay it. He's like, well, we don't really like to do that because of whatever. But I'll do it for you this time.
Yeah.
Because I was like in a panic. I'm like, I don't have my license. I'm driving all the way to Melbourne.
Yeah.
I had plans afterwards. I'm like, well, guess we're not going to a mommy-daughter lunch. We're going to go home, get our wallet. But anyways.
Yeah. And it's such a good feeling when you do find it.
Oh, yeah. I was sitting where
But there's that, I don't know, like high anxiety or just from not having it, and also like, well, where is it?
Right.
Yeah. So, right, same. I lose like my keys, my wallet. And it's super frustrating because I always put it in the same place.
Mm-hmm.
And what's so annoying is I usually find it in those places.
Yeah.
After like the third go round of searching the same places.
Like you didn't see him?
Yeah, part of it is like my car interior is black, my wallet's black. I don't know how many times I've torn my car apart.
So we're going to get you a new wallet.
I need a new wallet, I think is the moral of the story. So thanks for being with us. We hope you have a great week. So this Sunday, we are, this actually does fit because we're talking, the theme is Lost and Found.
Yeah.
For this coming Sunday. And it's all within the big theme of being gathered up in Jesus, right? This whole chicken image of Jesus, God as the mother bird that pulls the little chickies in. We're all the little chickies. And but the story that Jesus is telling that we're visiting this Sunday is a lost and found story. And it's basically this kid who runs from home. And he goes through some stuff where he really feels lost. He doesn't say that. That's kind of, I think, what we put on it. And part of it is Jesus gears up for this story. If y'all know it, it's the prodigal son story. By telling stories of, like, the first one is this lady who lost a coin in her house, and she's tearing her house apart trying to find it. Right? So the setup for this story of this boy who, like, runs from home hard, like burning bridges, and then realizes like what a fool he's been, what a wreck he's made of his life. So it's kind of the connection, like he's a lost boy, right? And so it got me thinking, like, in the church, kind of the traditional church I grew up in, like we use the word lost to describe non-Christians all the time. I wonder though, like, what do we really mean by that? Like what do we really mean if we're talking about someone who is lost, right? They know where they are,
Right.
They're living their life, right? They're working their plan. Is that even fair to call someone who's not a part of the church lost? Does that work?
Yeah. I mean, is it fair? Is it fair for us to judge them for not being part of the church?
Because that's kind of what we do, right?
Right.
If you're not with us, you're clearly lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let's be real. Even when we're with us, don't you feel lost at times?
Right. Yeah, it's not like I'm immune to feeling lost.
Right.
So, and I guess for me, that's a great way to look at it. Like, so, all right, so what is it? Maybe this is a better way to think about it. What's really going on when I feel lost? Maybe that's more helpful.
Yeah.
Right? Like, what has happened when I feel lost? When I feel like I've lost my way? Go ahead.
What has happened when I feel lost?
Yeah.
I feel lost typically when I'm like when I'm feeling like I'm out of control, like spiraling.
Yeah.
That's when I feel lost.
Right. Something has happened, and then something else.
Yeah,
and then it starts to unravel.
We all know I like to be in control of it.
Like most of us.
Yeah, and so when I'm not, I'm like, I'm so lost. I need to get my stuff together.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's part of it. Is I think we have this delusion that we all create for ourselves of I'm handling it.
Yeah.
Because it feels like you're handling it, but then it's not. It doesn't take much for us to start to feel like, I'm not handling this so well. So what?
Well, and it's easy to say like, I'm handling it because God's in control, but are we really believing it?
Right.
Like we're still as lost as the next person.
So here's what's different though, right? So in the story that Jesus is telling, it's not so much that the dude is living an okay life and gets a bad phone call, loses his keys, gets a surprise bill, and it all starts to unravel for him. I mean, he checks out, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, screw y'all, I'm gonna do my own thing. Like he leaves hard,
mm-hmm.
and then hits like a couple of rock bottoms,
mm-hmm.
right? Before he gains the awareness of, I guess, his lostness.
Yeah.
So there's a lost where I'm like, I'm not, things are starting to unravel around me. I'm starting to do that where the anxiety's coming up and I got some worries. But I guess this story's a little bit of a different one.
Yeah.
Right? Where there's a turning away. There's a turning away from love. Maybe that's it.
Maybe.
You're right? Because how many times does that happen in our lives, in our world, from little things like the kids that are learning kind of where they stop and where the family picks them up to the sense of, a rejection of the family values, some of the pushing that kids and older kids and teens and young adults and older adults, right? We all kind of push against.
Should ask them. Joey said, hi, y'all.
Hey,
hello,
thanks,
y'all.
Joey. Help us out, Joey. Help us out, Chris. Because I think part of it is like, it's a little bit we were talking about earlier today. We were having, as we do, a theologically rich discussion of the nature and origin of evil, weren't we?
Yes.
Yes, we were.
Just a normal conversation. Why you gotta make it like that?
Theologically rich.
Yeah, but
so people think that's what we do all day.
I know, but we're still human.
Oh, yeah,
I don't want to
absolutely.
portray like we're different.
No, we're not.
We're not.
But we're not.
Ryan Hall.
Alicia Clementine Lambert. So and I think part of what the church has done over the years is, I guess, made it like two-dimensional.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're lost and Jesus is the answer. And I think Jesus is, I mean, yeah, Jesus is the answer for everybody. But I wonder if the invitation is maybe to explore a little bit about, well, what does loss look like in this life?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I wonder, does that help? Is that what we're talking about? Is that broadly applicable? Turned away from love. Does that fit all the ways that humans can find themselves to be lost? What do you think?
So ask it again.
Is that a fitting description of all the ways that humans can find themselves to be lost? Some version of we've turned our back on love.
Yeah, because love is the ultimate, right?
Right.
So yes, but I don't have an answer why. I'm looking for that answer why, and I feel like I'm drawing like a blank of why I feel that way.
And I think part of it is, and it goes back to a little of what you were saying, where we unravel,
Mm-hmm.
because we're hardwired with this, you know, this need to love and be loved. I mean, it's part of it's one of the fundamental realities of being human, right? And when we're in, you know, a healthy relationships, that's what's going on. Is there's a free flowing love between, you know, all the parties involved.
Right.
And I think part of it is like we get so twisted up with selfishness or the idea that that's better than this, that we kind of turn away, I think, from those relationships, or maybe we grow weary of some of what love requires. You know, like we're not just talking about good feeling between people, but choosing you over me. Isn't that what love actually is?
Right. It's scary, right?
Yeah. I mean, love involves risk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I feel like that's why people are so weary on saying like that they like I think that's why throwing that word around is not just an everyday thing.
Yeah.
Like it's scary to actually say that. It's a huge commitment. I don't know.
Yeah, but I think that also opens up a real clear idea of what's needed.
Yeah.
Because I think part of where we get kind of confused about what is the mission of the church when we start thinking about lost and found and all of that, and the way we've typically talked about it, you know, we feel all this pressure to somehow figure it out.
Right.
We'll figure out what's really wrong and answer your deepest questions and help you, you know, heal and come back and all that's like helpful. I mean, it's not.
Right.
But if it's as simple as we've turned away from love, then really all we need to do in helping is pour some love in.
Right.
You know, which I mean, all we need to do, like that's a huge thing, but it's not like it requires a lot of figuring out.
Right.
You know, it's as simple as.
Well, yes and no, right?
Yes and no. Okay.
Because I think some of us have different thoughts on what that actually means, right? Like some people look at it like, if I have all the answers for that person, then I'm showing them that I love them and that I care about them and that I can heal them or protect them or help them move forward. But sometimes they don't need, I know I've said this a million times, but sometimes they don't need you to love them through answers. They just need you to love them through listening.
Yeah.
Love them through being there, sitting there while they're upset or celebrating something. Just being present is loving them.
Yeah, absolutely. Because sometimes trying to give someone answers feels a little like you represent problems that need to be solved.
Right.
You know, or I'm uncomfortable with how you're feeling and want you to feel better.
Right.
You know, And I heard this phrase visiting someone last week, and we were just kind of sitting around, just talking about the state of the world, and he said, "Let love lead." And that's been hanging out in my head. I'm like, that's just so broadly applicable, right? And so when we're talking about this whole sense of what is it we as the called people of God are called to do, I think that helps, bring that to that moment, especially if it's one of those relationships that's really frayed, to let love lead, which can be a really hard thing to do. But maybe that's...
Especially when you've loved and been hurt.
Yeah. So what does that look like, to let love lead when it's not reciprocated?
Right.
Right. Can it still be love? Yes, absolutely. But what does that actually look like?
It's a deep conversation.
This is a deep conversation. But I think it's part of what's so necessary. Oh, did Sonia say that? Yeah, Sonia.
Yeah, save me.
Because I think it's the deep things of the world where we really see God coming alive.
Right.
I think humans really are deep wells, but we spend so much time just splashing in the shallows, right?
Right.
And
it's a conversation that needs to be had, right?
Yeah.
If we talked more about loving one another and how we can love one another, how many more people would love one another, lead with love? How many more people would do that? But we don't talk about it because it's scary and it's different and it's meaning you're going to be vulnerable and all the things you don't want to do.
Yeah. And I think part of the gift is love is too big to explain and understand. So it can help us avoid the temptation to try to figure it all out. Right? But what if, in that testy relationship or that confrontation that needs to happen, what if what's going on, like the background music of our brain, is some version of let love lead, which is a prayer.
Yeah.
Lord, let your love lead me. And to something that's, because I think what happens is in our the relationships that we're used to is that we become accustomed and we become less intentional of what love actually invites us to do. And we're just sharing life, just doing our thing, getting the kids to school, working together, wherever those relationships are.
Right.
But if we're letting that background music be the prayer, let love lead, I mean, it can change the way we see, our spouses or our friends or our colleagues or, our neighbors, whoever we are in close relationship with. But I think it also helps them with the strangers. Like here I am going into the CVS, to get some vitamin C. Let love lead me. How can I let love lead, even if it's just the interaction with the cashier? That's the only human interaction that I have. But let love lead me in that interaction, whatever that looks like.
We should give them a challenge.
Alicia has a challenge for us.
I think we should challenge them before they walk into every place they do this week.
Yeah.
Say that to themselves.
Yeah.
Let love lead.
Let love lead.
And let love lead you.
Yeah.
In that next journey or in that next thing.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
All right.
Me too.
All right. Y'all gonna do it? Pinky swear?
Pinky swear.
Does that work online? Sure it does. So yeah, that's a great place to land. Let love lead, and man, we'd love to hear stories. Of what that actually kind of what grows in that. That's generative.
Go back
grows.
and write on our Facebook how you let love lead this week.
Yeah, there's an easy way to do that on our website, and then of course on Facebook. You can just drop it in a post on our page. But yeah, I'm super excited because tomorrow.
It's Fireside.
Fireside, stories of discovery, which, can be anything, like something you've learned, something you've found, to just something new that erupts into your life. So we'll be here at the field at 6:30. We got snacks.
We've got s'mores.
Are we doing the weenies again?
No.
Oh, come on, man. That was so good.
You really think so?
Absolutely.
All right. I'll make sure we have it.
Well, if you don't think so, we've definitely got s'mores. We'll work out the rest. So come ready to share stories with church family, and let love lead in those stories. And then this weekend, typical worship flow. We've got worship at 9:30, 11, youth at 5, where we are talking about humanity and the nature of evil. Man, super excited about
I am
that.
too.
Yeah. And then we'll be back Wednesday Bible study, 10:30, 6:30. We'll be back right here at 12 o'clock.
Easter Bunny breakfast is coming up, so if you've got candy,
Easter
send
Bunny
it
breakfast.
in.
Yeah.
That's the second.
And man, we love chocolate, but it really makes it hard for us to do the whole egg thing, right? So lean towards the non-chocolate candies, if you please. And because we really, I mean, there's like eggs everywhere.
Yeah, 1,500.
It's pretty incredible, right?
I'm so excited.
Yeah, that's one of our huge things. That's coming up Saturday the 2nd. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. So check it out. Sign up.
Oh, there's all kinds of. I think ours come late.
Oh, yeah. Now
Sorry,
we're getting
guys.
Stuff. Ooh, Sonia accepts the challenge. There you go. Yeah, Joey. If you keep leading with love and getting hurt, look at all this stuff. This is good stuff. Thanks, Yvonne.
Sorry we didn't see it until just now.
We'll be thinking about it as we wrap this up.
All right.
Thanks for being with us, y'all. Thanks for viewing this whenever you do. As always, let us know what's going on with you, and we'll see you soon.
Have a great week.
Bye.